Good morning, you guys. So my name is DeVale, and this will be my client for today. This is Malik. You can follow my Instagram at Halo Beauty. That's HELO.beauty. If you want to give them your Instagram name.
And you can follow me at Yo Boy M. So that's Yo underscore boy underscore M.
All right, so we are here at Private Label Studios, and I'm going to be presenting you guys with some barbering tips, and we're going to go over doing designs as well. So first things first, we're going to start with draping my client. So what I'm going to do is take one of my sand neck strips. I'm going to wrap this around his neck. Then I fold this down. And then I'm going to take my cape and I'm going to drape him up. So the first thing you want to do when it comes to cutting men's hair, you pretty much just want to comb the hair out, kind of like lifting the hair up from this natural state, but still combing with the grain. And you want to go around and make sure you're thoroughly going through and just making sure everything is sticking up. So now what I'm going to do is pretty much start with my foundation. So I'm actually going to go in with my number 2 guard just to kind of start with where I want his length to be at. If I have to go lower, I'll do that. And I'm going to start with my blade open because you never want to cut way too much or else your client's going to walk out looking crazy. So we're going to go through and just make sure we're getting everything. And if you have to, it's okay to go back and grab your comb just to make sure everything is still being lifted. And you want to go around the whole entire head, you guys.
Charmaine from Paul Mitchell just said, "Hello, DeVille. I'm so proud of you."
Thank you, thank you. I want to see you again. I hope y'all still doing good up there at Paul Mitchell. Your boy is an official graduate, you guys. Just graduated this month. So, I think his hair is at a nice length, and this is pretty much where he likes it. And he's been my client for a little minute. How long would you say it's been?
I think about 4 years, if I'm mistaken.
Woo. Yeah. So, what we're gonna do now is pretty much go in and make our first guideline. And I'm gonna do this first before we get to the design portion. So, Malik likes a high fade and he likes it to be a bald fade. So with that being said, you want to pretty much start your guideline just at the end of his sidebar. And another thing, you guys, is Malik actually likes a drop fade, meaning that his guideline is going to kind of start here and it's just going to drop just below his occipital bone just to complement his head shape. And that's one thing you really want to be mindful of when it comes to cutting men's hair, because sometimes they don't always have the perfect head. Like, everything has to complement each other. So this is how Malik likes his hair. So we're going to go through and make our guideline here. And I like to do mine in half, so I'm going to start on just this half of his head. So everything under here can just go away. We don't need none of this. So once we get all this off, I'm going to go in with my clippers again. As you guys can see, he has that drop fade starting straight and it's dropping in the back. So just make sure you get everything off of here. And what we're gonna do next is go in with our clippers And we're gonna do it on an open blade, meaning that the blade is not to the edge, meaning, well, let me rephrase this. So when the blade is closer to the end of the blade sandwiching it, that means you're gonna get a closer cut. The more it's pushed away from it, you're gonna get a little bit more of leniency as far as like how much it's gonna cut. So my blade is open, as you can see here. So I'm gonna turn my clippers on and we're gonna go through and make our guideline. And you always wanna make it crystal clear because you wanna see where your fade is going. You don't want for it to be patchy anywhere because you're gonna have to go in and do a lot more detailing when you're doing your finishings. So I like to go up almost about 1 inch or so. Kind of just combing everything. You want to go through and just make sure you got everything at one equal length. And another thing you guys want to be mindful of, you guys, is the fact that everyone has different growth patterns. So there are cowlicks that you have to be mindful of because you might be going in with your clippers and you're seeing that the hair is not really being taken off. That means you have to go in within a different direction. And mind you, we're going against the grain and this hair right here is growing up. So it's kind of making it look like I'm going with the grain. So if you got to, just go in and finesse it a little bit and take that hair out. So what you see now is everything pretty much at one length how I need it to be. So now what I'm going to do is go in with my number 1 guard. And this is going to give me my second guideline. Open blade, you guys. So we're going to go up almost another inch or so. Make sure you get everything thorough. If you got to comb it back down, comb it back down. And this is something that's going to be important along the way when you're just cutting in general. You always just want to make sure you're combing everything out so you can get the most precise cut. So as you can see there, we pretty much have our guides. So now what we're going to do is go in and take these guides out and just blend everything in. So when we do this, every whole guard that you pretty much went up, you want to go in with a half a guard less to take out that guideline. So for example, with our first guideline that we started with here, I started with the blade open. So now I want to go in and close that out by closing my blade. So this is your example right here. So going in, and you do not want to go past the guideline, not too much, but you want to do it just enough to where it fades that lines out. You want a nice gradient throughout the whole entire thing. Because I can't have him walking around looking crazy, y'all. Have you ever looked crazy? No.
DeVille, you have a superstar who just chimed in, Daniel Coed.
Ooh.
And yes, he said this is amazing, such valuable education.
Yes. And that's what we want to do constantly. And that's one thing that I have been very mindful of in this particular industry, especially working with Dallas and a bunch of other instructors that I've grown to know throughout going to school, is that you pretty much have to be a sponge. You can't be a person that kind of knows it all. You got to be willing to kind of like embrace, just getting more knowledgeable about things, because there's always going to be somebody out there who's better than you. Be mindful of that.
Love it. Say that.
So you guys, as you can see, my guide is still kind of in there a little bit. So what I like to do is go in with one of my favorites, which is my Indie Masters, you guys. And this baby will cut down, you feel me? It will cut down. So I'm just gonna go in with my blade close again. And as you can see there, it's getting more closer to that guideline that we're trying to take out here. By the way, guys, this is actually my god brother. We actually go back. Ooh, it's been a few years. So I'm actually a preacher's kid, and that's pretty much how we met. And it's kind of been like magic from there. Like he kind of just fit along with the family because we all goofy. So he'll be right there with us at the mess in the grocery stores, all that.
What has it been, about 9 years? 10?
Yeah, I think so. It's been almost since like we moved here. And guys, sometimes when you're combing the hair, sometimes it's good to use a brush. It can be a lot more helpful as far as grabbing more hairs to just laying them into place. All right, so that's enough on what we're gonna do with that one. When we come back in detail, that's when we're pretty much going to go in and just detail the whole thing, take everything out, any imperfections that we have. So now I'm gonna go in, because remember we used the 1 guard for our second guideline. So now I'm gonna go in with the 0.5. So what I like to do is pretty much, sometimes I would close my blade like I do now, and I will go with the grain first, and you can hear it kind of taking off more hair, and that means that's just excess hair that'll come off, and it'll actually make the haircut blend a lot better. It makes everything looks a bit more seamless. As you can see there, it kind of blended out that guideline that we had there before. So now we're gonna go against the grain, and we're just flicking, doing the flicking motions the entire time. We're not just going in, going straight up. It's flicking motions. It's all in the wrist, y'all. Look at us, look at our wrist. So as you can see, that guideline is starting to blend itself out. I'm going to continue to do that all around, you guys. Just continue brushing. Every chance you get, just brush. Make sure you're getting any imperfections out. So, you can pretty much see that guideline is fading away, and that's pretty much going to be your cue to go on to the next one and take that out. So now I'm going to go in with my number 1 guard, because we started with a 2. But I'm going to open the blade just to kind of blend things out a little bit from what we use on the top, which is the number 2 guard, and blend everything in. This is pretty much us taking off any excess bulk before we're going against the grain to pretty much take out that guideline. So I'm going to open my blade, and you can gradually just close the more you kind of see it blending out. As you can see there, we're pretty much taking out that weight compared to here and here. So we're going to work our way around. All the way around, you guys. And I feel like I can take it a little bit more down. So what I'm going to do is close my blade just about halfway and just touch on that guideline that we created. Now you can kind of see everything is starting to blend a little bit better. So now what I'm gonna do is go against the grain a little bit. And at the very top, I love to use my corners of my blade. It kind of helps me to go in and be a little bit more detailed and kind of take out things that I kind of just spot that I don't like. But you can see there, everything just starting to kind of blend itself out. And I always go through and comb, you guys. Comb my brush. And we're gonna continue going through taking this guideline out. I'm gonna close my blade all the way, just to take a little bit more weight out. So at this point, it's kind of like we're going in and just detailing everything. So just continue to take anything out that you see you don't like. How you feeling, Malik?
Feel good.
Getting you a fresh haircut, y'all. You about to go to the club free before 11. Y'all blame it on Dallas. He made me this way. I was very innocent.
Why
I
am
was-
I in it? I'm speaking like Nene now.
I was an innocent child.
Why am I in it?
I was so innocent, y'all. And then Dallas just came out of nowhere. Ran up on me and whoop, 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 whoop.
Wow.
Everybody know at the school?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you want to tell everybody I beat you up?
Yes.
Ooh,
I was
wow.
abused at the school, y'all.
What?
For just 1 cent a day. You can save a life like mine.
Wow.
Dallas, don't lie. It's okay.
Wow.
You know what they say, life is like, it's like a box of chocolates, and you never know what you're gonna get. And that day, that was be my bad, y'all.
That's the ratchet in me.
Exactly. Y'all, Dallas love the hood. when,
Not be invited
y'all,
again.
when he do that live, when he still got his tongue, Dallas, oh my God.
Oh, God. Let's go back to the technique. So you're using the brush.
Wait, Dallas.
Each time that you are doing your cut. How about that?
Reason being is because you want to have a clear visual of your guide and what you're trying to take out. You do not want to take out what you need, because who wants to walk around patchy? This is not a Sour Patch Kid. This is a human being.
Wow. Sour Patch.
It's a human being. So I took my guard off, you guys, and now I'm pretty much just gonna go in and kind of freehand and take any imperfections out just to clean up this fade a little bit more, AKA detailing. So I'm gonna start with my blade just all the way open. I'm not gonna press down hard, just kind of in a way hovering over. And this is just gonna go in and take out those hairs that we do not need. Not at all, y'all, not at all. Because there's some areas you can see where there's still a bit of weight. You kind of just want to go in and take that out. And we're going with the grain, not against it. Wow, y'all just fit that in my spirits. Wow. So now we're gonna go just a little bit closer, closing our blade and kind of working our way down. And as you see there, we're pretty much starting to build a nice gradient. So the more we're getting closer to where we started our bald line guide, the more you want to close that blade. So now we're just going to close this blade all the way up. Still just continue to hover.
So while you're working, you started out with the blade open, and then you begin to close it a little bit, which was halfway,
Mm-hmm.
and now you are finishing with you closing the blade all the way, but again, still not using pressure.
Right.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm doing that, you're pretty much just going in and just detailing at that point, especially when you're going with the grain. That's when you're pretty much kind of like taking out any excess hair that doesn't need to be there. So going with the grain is pretty much, yeah, like I said, just taking out excess hair and going against the grain is pretty much creating your guidelines.
Gotcha. So you'll be removing that hair in bulk when you're going against the grain.
Correct. Correct. So we're just gonna continue to detail, you guys.
So you are, as you mentioned, a recent graduate.
Mhm.
Mitchell, the school in Atlanta.
Yeah. Shout out to my man.
See, that's where that ratchet comes in.
Yeah, I got it from Dallas, y'all.
But you graduated as a cosmetologist. But as a cosmetologist, of course, that is, you're mastering all of your areas
Mhm.
of beauty. So it's interesting that you are a cosmetologist. And the reason why I wanted you to come here today is because you also do barbering as well as you do makeup as well. And so we wanted to make sure that you don't want to limit yourself as a cosmetologist just as, oh, I only do hair, I only do wigs, I only do that. You could, but here's an opportunity for you to do other stuff. Why would you want to do these other things?
Because I not only have a passion, because the way I look at doing hair, it's like an art. And that's something that I'm pretty much known to love pretty much all my life. And doing hair was actually my first love. But I look at it as art, and I enjoy doing art. So not only just that, if you really want to make a living out of this, why would you want to leave money on the table for somebody else to take?
Get my shout in over
Okay.
here. I swear
Let me stop. But yeah, you do not want to leave money on the table for somebody else to take. Because everybody want to do this, and you claim you want to get this G-Wagon and get this house and whatnot. And then you get out there doing braids.
Now see, you didn't have to crap on the girls in the braids.
Ain't no shade towards anybody doing braids, because I do braids as well. But at the same time, you do not want to limit yourself to, there's many things that you can learn. And I feel like where people fall flat when it comes to doing braids is that it's time consuming. And the biggest thing to pretty much master in this industry is time management. And if you're not doing that, you're not about to make no money. So why would you sit there on somebody's head for 8.5, 9 hours, and you probably don't make $300-400 when you could have probably done had 15 heads in that day, and probably left the salon with at least 15 to 2,000 that day or so. So
Preach.
you do not want to do that.
You have church today.
That part. I feel that in my spirit.
Oh,
I know.
What?
We going here. See, y'all, Dallas be influencing me to do this crazy stuff.
Again, why am I in it?
Wow, God is gonna strike me down. The Lord forgive me.
Cute lightning.
Son, I might say. Let me stop. When I was little, I actually thought Jesus was on the main line. I was watching Medea one day, and Medea used to be my idol. Oh my God. When she said, you got to get the guys before the guys get you,
I'm done.
I said, hallelujah. My soul cried out, yes. It cried out, yes. But no, she was, oh my God. That lady. And I'm saying that lady like she not a man.
Like she's a real person.
Right. Shoot. After all of these years, Tyler don't made that a whole person.
Believe it was a real person.
For real. Because you don't even say Tyler Perry, you say Medea.
You say review.
Oh my God. Yeah, I might go home now and watch Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Oh my God. Woo. And the 4 colored girls, y'all. How you gonna turn around?
Do not.
So yeah, I'm an actor too.
Please do not.
Oh, so you do?
We have someone on the board. Tori, I believe her name is Tori Yvonne. She says, love the cut. I'm a barber looking to sharpen my skills.
Yes. I always continue to do that. I feel like the way that I've learned mastering this for myself is practicing on myself. And y'all remember the first time I cut my hair in the mirror. Mind you, I ain't know nothing about doing hair. I didn't even know you were supposed to comb it. All I know, I just went across my head, and all of a sudden I looked in the mirror like, yeah. My mom like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, my hair. But then when I combed it, I was like, oh. So I was pretty much looking like one of them kids who just be over-exaggerating. But over time, I was constantly looking at videos. Anybody who knows me, you would see me just scrolling through my Instagram, looking at different barbers and, you know, other hairstylists, and I kind of look at their technique. And one thing about me is that I'm able to kind of like visualize a way that somebody may have did a certain technique and kind of go through and attack it. Basically saying I'm kind of, you know, multifaceted. So, yeah, you always want to educate yourself. And one person I feel like that really kind of helped me home in on doing this was this guy on YouTube who goes by 360 Jeezy. That guy right there, y'all. Off the chain.
So Tori also added any fading tips that you want to share with her to help her understand and get, you know.
I feel like the main thing that you need to understand when it comes to doing fading, so make sure your guys are clean so you know where you're cutting. And then not only that, you want to make sure every whole guard that you've gone up to make your guidelines, you want to go in with a half a guard less and close your blade and go in detail. And do it in a flick out motion. Don't just go straight in. Always flick out. Flick of the wrist. I always want to do that. So I'm again just going in, detailing. And I'm doing a little bit more here in the back. And that is because Malik has cowlicks. So instead of me going in straight against the grain to take that out, I kind of have to go in sideways just because his hair is actually growing this way instead of going straight down. So sometimes you're going to have to go in and turn your clippers sideways, upside down if you have to get that hair out.
You're going to have them turn a little bit more
Yeah.
so we can see it in the back.
So you can see, compared to this side, this hair is growing down, right? So back here, you can kind of see his growth pattern is actually coming inward. Even right here, if you want to look even closer, you can kind of see how this is kind of caving into each other and then going down. So those are things you want to be mindful of, especially with my guys out there who loves, you know, their waves. They love their waves. So that's like a number one like pet peeve with theirs, like go with the grain, because if you go anything slightly off, you're going to take off some hair that they need. So at that point, you're messing with their density.
Gotcha. So can you actually turn him a little bit and we can, because Tori is trying to see it as
Yeah.
you're doing it.
So
There you go.
We're going in sideways because his hair is going that way. And remember to constantly brush.
Tori said that's a great view. But she also asked a question. She said, while you're doing that, do you always shampoo your clients before starting?
Typically, it will be best to, because you have some guys who would come in and they have a lot of buildup in their hair. And one thing you want to be mindful of is your clippers, because you don't want all that gunk to kind of get caught up in there. And then at that point, it's kind of messing with the functionality of your clippers, and it's not going to work as best how you want it to do. Actually might make it a little bit dull, actually. So you want to be mindful of that. But yeah, it's always good to shampoo anyways. You always want to be clean. You want to work on dirt head.
Clean slate, very good. Can you talk a little bit more as you're working about your view on cowlicks and whirls in the head?
So I actually deal with them myself. I don't know if you can see it here, but I actually got some up front and I'm kind of disguising it because I kind of molded my hair to be a certain way. But even if they're very, very, like, they're not gonna go with what you want to do. They're gonna do its own thing at the end of the day. You can do your best to try to manipulate and camouflage whatever it is there to kind of, give it the look that you want to. But they're always gonna be there. They're never gonna, go the opposite direction. You can even get a relaxer. Your hair is still gonna grow that way. It's not gonna do anything else but grow the way that it wants to go. So I just kind of like grown to just going in and camouflaging it and making everything just look cohesive. But you always want to kind of like follow where that hair is going so that it can blend at its best.
So basically saying be mindful of every client's hair growth patterns.
Yes. And that's why client consultations are very important, you guys. Very, very important. You always want to go through and check out their scalp, because I've seen situations where people have come into the salon, they've had blisters, they've had all types of stuff, and you do not want to work with that. And your biggest thing here is sanitation. Always, always, always sanitation. And if you see an issue, do not work on that client.
Since you're speaking of sanitation, Tori is giving great questions here. She followed up by saying, how do you handle clients who do not want their hair shampooed, but you feel it has to be done?
So one thing that have learned, and this is also something that Dallas has also taught me, all money is not good money. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying whatever business that you built, you pretty much want to go with the things that you believe in, and you do not want to go against that ever. You do not want to compromise what you have built, because you're going to give an opportunity for somebody else to feel like they can do the same thing. And you don't want to do that. So when it comes to people like that, sometimes you have to dismiss that person at your chair. You don't want to do that at all.
Great answer.
So that's pretty much how I need it to be. I'm actually just going to go in detail a little bit more. And this is also another good tool to use when it comes to blending out that bald line, because sometimes you can be a bit crazy and they don't want to go nowhere. So you want to take your trimmers, and I call these my hitters because these are 0 gap blades, and they actually come 0 gap. And when I say that, I'm saying the blade is literally right at each other. They're sandwiching each other, very parallel, pretty much. And this is going to get you the closest cut possible. So that's why I like using these when it comes to just taking out those little hairs that I feel like I can still kind of like see. And sometimes it's okay to like step back a little bit and just look at it and see where you can kind of go in and just take out. So I can kind of see there's a little bit more weight in here that I want to get rid of. So I'm actually going to go back in and detail that a little bit.
I like the word that you said, take a moment to step back
Mm-hmm.
and view it, because of adjusting your eyes from staring at it closely.
Yes, because you would think it's all, peaches and cream until you turn your client around, you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, let me fix that real quick. You don't want to do that. You already want to kind of take that step forward and just look at it, take that step back, because you have more of a broad look on it and you can see any slight imperfections. Just like I pretty much caught that weight there that I didn't want. Yep. All right, you guys. So now, the moment we've all been waiting for. So, I'm gonna start in this side. This is actually where I'm gonna do my design. So I've kind of already cut the hair where I wanted it to be for now until I have to go back in and detail it. So, pretty much what I like to do is I like to have a reference photo on hand. And sometimes you want to tell your client to, pull out a phone, show them whatever. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is going to be my reference photo. So you always want to look at this and pretty much take that to the head. Being that I have a background in drawing and whatnot, I like to just go in and freehand it. Some people may want to take their barber's pencil and pretty much go through it and make their guideline out through that way, but I just like to go in and freehand it. So, pretty much just want to hold your phone right next to his head.
So this is your design part where you are showing us you're creating art in the head, am I correct?
Correct. So now, I'm going to start my guideline, because as you can see in the picture, it's starting from the very end of his sidebar. And keep in mind, guys, you don't have to go in and just take very harsh cuts. You can kind of go in and just make your, what I call my rough draft. So I'm pretty much just constantly looking back and forth with my reference photo I have here. As you can see, the design is starting to come into place. And over time, we're just going to go through and just sharpen everything up pretty much. But we're still just doing our rough draft. And you guys, Malik always loves a good little design in his head.
I'm glad you know.
He's been trying to get me to do this for weeks. I'm like, no, I got school. I feel like doing it.
Malik does not talk like that.
Yes, he does. You should hear how he's saying. He sounds like Jennifer Hudson.
Wow.
You really tried to keep
He
it
do.
quiet?
Wow. He said I was Kiki Wyatt.
Wow.
Hey, Kiki Wyatt be killing though.
Yeah.
She like,
That's why Grandma J Hood. No, now.
I love Jay Hudson. When she's like, deliver!
I'm gonna say this to both.
Please. Jay Hud, I want to do your hair. Just let me know. Let me do your pixie. Oh, she might put me on the show. Put me on the show. I'll sing with you. So guys, we're still just going through and just making our rough draft. Kind of getting as clear as possible before we go in and kind of just like detail a little bit more. So now I pretty much got my rough draft in, you guys, as you can see there. So what I'm gonna do now, because you know how I kind of went with the grain on the other side to help things blend out a little bit more, I'm gonna pretty much do the same thing on this side just to knock off any excess bulk that I don't need. And this will pretty much make the design pop a little bit more and stick out. So I'm gonna start with my blade open just to kind of take off the least amount of hair. And it's going through it and it is taking off that hair, so it's making my design come out a little bit more. And I typically like to start with my designs first before I go in doing the fade, because I want to just make everything look cohesive as possible. I don't want to make it look off or anything like that. So, I'm gonna pull up my hitters once again, and I'm gonna do as much work as I can with these before I go in and actually use my straight blade just to clean everything up to get more of a crispy cut. So this time I'll actually be using my brush just to brush down to see if I'm missing any hair, because you don't want anything to come out of place and get in the way of the design, or else it's just not gonna look as crispy as you want it. Yo, Dallas is quiet. This is amazing. Oh my God. I've never felt so much at peace. And why she, I know you're over there looking at me. So guys, as you can see, I'm actually going through and making my design a little bit more wider width-wise. I feel like it personally just makes the design stick out a lot better. So when they see him, they're gonna be like, oh my God, who is it? Who is it? And he's just gonna turn around like, Beyonce.
Out of all things.
Yo, we cannot lie, Beyonce. Wow. It's me.
What?
We watch too much TV and too many videos.
No,
Oh my God. Yo. Me and Dallas be sitting here cackling at these TikTok videos. I remember when it first came out, I'm like, okay, this is shot. I'm not even finna get on there. And then I go on there, I'm like, oh my God, this is funny. So now it's kind of like, almost like a nightly routine to watch some TikTok videos before I go to sleep, because I done found some crazy stuff on there, y'all. Period. Period.
Y'all word.
That lady took us to church, y'all. She said, period. Period.
Oh, I'm gonna learn that whole thing.
You're forgetting that one note,
Oh, we ain't finna do that. I'm probably gonna scratch my throat. Woo! Y'all cannot take Dallas nowhere.
So what you're doing now, again, is you're explaining it. You actually go in and you do the rough draft with your trimmers,
Mm-hmm.
just to really kind of set the template, and then afterwards you will follow up with what again?
Just going back in with my trimmers, and we're kind of like attacking that line again and making it a little bit more wider as far as width, just to make the design pop a little bit more. And we're gonna do this up until the point to where we pretty much all we can get. And then I like to go in with my razor, and that pretty much just gets everything to more of a crisp, more precise.
So you would say you would need a very steady hand if you were to be doing these types of designs.
You don't necessarily need to be very steady, because if you think about it, when you're sketching a design with pencil, right, you're just going through it and kind of like scribbling in a way before you actually go through and make those darker lines to go in and get, your lines right or whatever. So it's kind of like giving you pretty much just like a trail to just go and follow up and just go and take out. Because if you see a guy that you're trying to go with, it's almost like those little coloring books where you're like going through the little maze with the lines. You're not gonna go out of those lines. You're gonna stay.
But keep going.
Wow. Wow, you guys, he has no class. Wow. But now, wow. Whoa. I don't even know what to say after that. Wow. Wow, did you ever do that? Y'all, that was a whole nother breed. Whole nother breed. So we're still going through it and taking out these lines, you guys. Taking them out. Taking them out.
So I noticed that you are no longer using your reference or your guide, which was the picture on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because you now did what?
Because I pretty much got my draft out of where I wanted to go. And once I pretty much create what I call my little stencil or whatever, I know where to pretty much go with it. And if I want to go in, sometimes I'll probably jazz it up a little bit and just add a little extra onto it, probably a little longer line or something like that. I would do that. But I kind of just want to get an overall look. Sometimes I just like looking at things just for an idea and possibly just add a twist to it. But yeah, once you get that guide in there of where you want to go, you pretty much just going in and cleaning it up so you don't necessarily need it anymore. Oh, that lady stuck in my head now.
Yeah,
The period.
Oh,
my God. Oh my God.
That's the only thing replaying in my mind right now.
I'm dead. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, guys, is go in with my straight blade. But before I do that, I'm going to take a little bit of this shaving gel, and you do not want to take too much. I think about this much will be fine to go through the whole thing, because you just need to lubricate it just a little bit. You kind of just slide in your finger. You do not just want to pack it on there. And if you can, just try to put it on the design specifically.
And you're doing that because you're getting ready to use what?
My straight razor.
Okay. And you need that slippage?
Yes. Yes. And you don't really need a lot. This shaving gel is kind of loose consistency wise, so it's able to kind of spread really well. And when it dries, it pretty much just kind of just goes away.
Also, you mentioned that you had not started your fade on this side with
Mhm.
the design. So you did the design first before you did the fade.
Yes, and I like to do that specifically because whenever I go in with the fade, I want everything from this side to be very cohesive with this side because I don't want to do the design too high or too low. And then when I go in and fade it, it kind of just looks a little bit wonky. I like for the design just to be in between where I'm starting my gradient, so it kind of gives more of that extra oomph, if you know what I mean. So now I'm gonna go in with my straight blade.
All right, Kill Baby.
Man, oh my God, did y'all see when she just, that lady's eye out?
See, you had.
Oh my God,
Too much TV.
I cringed. But yeah, guys, you wanna make sure you're tucking that skin. So this is basically gonna give you a lot of room to kind of go in and make sure you do not cut your client. Cause our skin will literally just move, and you see he got that back fat, that hog maw.
Hey.
That's my brother, so I can talk to him like that.
Don't worry, you'll get beat up off camera.
Oh wow. Don't worry. Cause when I call 119, you going to jail.
119. Now,
Wow, Dallas. And you think this is funny? Wow. Wow, my lawyer like that. My lawyer will like that.
Wow.
And you guys, stay tuned for the end because when I go back over in detail this design, I'm going to show you a little trick just to make the hair look a little bit more fuller and make these lines really pop. Period on. It's stuck in my head still.
Oh my God.
Period.
This is why you get on TikTok right there.
Nah, it's the preacher's kid in me. Preacher's kid be ready to speak in tongue. And we be playing, y'all.
For real.
Really be playing. But Malik, one day, he really caught the Holy Ghost.
Oh, you really gonna
His
try?
hand with the shaking, y'all. I can tell when he about to catch the Holy Ghost. It'd be so funny.
You really gonna tell me?
I was that kid that was in church laughing at everybody. Oh my God.
Ooh, do you
And I swear
remember?
one time I did that, and mind you, we had a big cathedral church with a bunch of people, and I went with my auntie at the time, and this is when I was living in Orlando, Florida. And when I tell you, my auntie had them slap me with the Bible back to Kingdom Come, y'all. I was like, oh my God,
Oh,
I'm finna call defects.
see. Actually, do you remember the one service we went to where we just couldn't stop laughing? It was me, you, and I believe it was Brianna, somebody.
Yeah, it probably was. Cause
We just sat there and laughed the whole service, but they got mad at us because they knew what we was laughing at.
yeah, and Brianna is my god sister, and y'all, we don't laugh at some people. Oh my God, cause some of these people really just be doing the most. Oh my God, man. I remember this one guy. He was laying hands on me, y'all.
Y'all ain't gonna talk about church. We gonna talk about his hair.
He was laying hands. And I'm like, oh my God, am I feeling the Holy Spirit? He's like, you feel it pushing you. Mind you, he pushing my head the entire time.
And just pushed
And
you
then
right down.
he whispered in my ear, just fall out, just fall out. So I just fell. I'm like, so then my mom sitting there looking at me like, oh my God, you done caught the Holy Ghost. I'm like, no, I didn't. He told me to fall, so I fell.
The lady that came, laid the sheet on him and everything.
Oh my God. I swear, they picked on me for like 2 months straight, y'all. I was like, I did not catch the Holy Ghost. You told me to fall out, so I
I
fell.
was laughing so hard. He was pushing everybody down.
Literally.
The service.
But y'all, we done seen some funny stuff.
Really?
It was this one lady. She used to start singing.
Oh, please don't break.
Oh my God. No, this was in Florida. And y'all, like,
You know, this is live, and people can go back and look at this and say, "He talking about me."
oh, they will never know. Because you will never get the receipts. Truly, honestly. But yeah, y'all, she starts singing. And mind you, this is the first song. The first song. Instantly into tears. I'm like, lady, I ain't even feel the anointing yet. What is going on?
She had pre-worship before she got there.
That's what it was. Oh, wow. Pre-worship, y'all.
At least y'all both said y'all preacher kids.
Yes.
The worst ones.
You know, no, we are not.
The worst
You know,
ones.
y'all want to know what they call my mom? Because she goes by Prophetess Williams, but they call her Prophetess Straight No Chaser. When I heard that, I was like, wow. My mom's off the chain. But she is very, very gifted. I can definitely say that. My mom actually has an event that she does annually called the Stiletto Conference to basically say I'm still letting the devil know that I'm still standing. So it's for women who pretty much come from all walks of life, people who done been abused, prostitution, all types of stuff, and they pretty much just kind of come and give their testimony. And when I tell you guys, it's like a huge breakthrough for a lot of these people.
It's amazing to see.
Man, like I cannot sit here and tell you that I don't believe the works of God, because when I tell you I don't see miracle signs and wonders.
Well, I'm seeing miracle signs and wonders as you go through your
Hallelujah.
with this design
Hallelujah.
on the head. Okay?
Hallelujah. Dad, you about to make me act up.
You already.
No, you started it. No, my fault.
This is beautiful.
If
Very
beautiful is true. Y'all, sign me. I deserve a record deal. What do you think, Dallas?
I think you should stick to cutting.
Wow.
Oh,
Y'all, everybody.
the mount.
Dallas is just mad because everybody that knows me tell me that I look like Beyonce. Beyonce. Oh my God. Y'all want to really laugh? Watch some videos with Tiffany Pollard in it.
Oh.
I love that lady to death. Oh my God. I swear, she's probably that friend that would say what's on everybody else's mind within a group. And I'm like, man, that lady is amazing. Oh, Dallas, you didn't even hear the song what I walked out to at my clap out at school. I had them playing Trina. Boy, whole crowd got lit. Trina said, let me step my foot in the game now.
Wow.
Let me show y'all what I'm working with.
Really?
I had to rep y'all. Miami, Florida. I am a Miami baby. So there, you guys, I've pretty much carved out most of the design. And now I'm just about to go in and start my fade like usual. Still kind of following the technique that we're using, which is the drop fade. So clips clear from this point on. If you do have any excess, I like to take a little Sandex strip. Just wipe off any excess product. And remember, this is very loose liquid, so it's almost like water. So now, I'm gonna refer back to my inspo, and I wanna see where that fade kinda started so I can kinda make everything blend how I want it to. But I'm still wanting to be cohesive with this side. So I kinda got a visual, and we're just about to go through an attack. So again, making our guideline. and we're dropping it again in the back. So again, I'm going to shave off this excess hair. All around, you guys, all around. Boom, bang, pow, y'all. Boom, bang, pow. So now we're going to go back in, making our first guideline. So remember, you guys, open blade. And we're going to go back in. And we're not going up that high. And you want to be mindful of your design because you still want to make all of your line spot. Get my brush here. I'm going to brush down to make sure I have a clear guideline and taking out any hair that I don't need. We're going to follow that all the way around. And with this particular design, we don't have to touch it. Sometimes with certain designs, you can actually go in and blend that out as well along with the fade. But this one is particularly going to be made like this. So as you can see here again, guys, cowlicks. So going up this way is not going to do anything. So I have to turn my clippers because the hair is going this way. In order to take that out, I have to go against the grain sideways. So just following that guide. Trying to make everything look parallel to the side that we already finished. Yeah, I think Malik might get a girlfriend after this. What y'all think? Oh wow! I thought you was about to go to the Clark sisters.
No, it was not.
I'm living the best of life.
Wow.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go in. Still not touching that design really. Making that next guideline out.
Can you turn it a little bit more, please?
Yep.
Just so we can see what you're doing.
Yes, sir. I was about to start singing, y'all.
Hairdressing is your best option.
Hmm?
Hairdressing is your best option.
Wow.
Wow, you know, this is why you don't throw out your ideas and your dreams. Because you have people like that. Really, honestly, that will try to take you out. But God,
Really?
God said, let it be so. If he can let there be light, there can be a celebrity in the building. That celebrity's me.
Okay.
But you can though. Y'all, don't let Malik fool y'all. He a hot mess too.
That's it from you.
You ain't get nothing from me. You probably got that
Ooh.
the Dallasitis. I swear Dallas will bring it out of you, y'all. I know you from the country. They be loud. Eating that back fat hog dog. Pork chops.
Again, why am I in it? I ain't even did that.
Yes, you did.
Nene Lee.
Oh,
Well, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Oh my God.
I would like to see you do that.
I said.
Whoa. Now that one was funny. Oh my God. They might have some really funny episodes. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I used to use hairlines every day. If I'm in the hell, I'm like, ooh, the ghetto. Child.
A white refrigerator.
Ooh.
Wow.
Let me stop.
Yeah, that was
Oh my God, that one was funny.
Let me stop. Somebody just stated, me next, me next.
Come on down and get yourself a cut from the Vel himself. Yeah, I can sit here and do this all day. I swear, anything somebody says, it would just trigger a lyric or a movie script or a meme I probably saw or something.
the inner comedian.
It really is.
And y'all say, or you're saying that you got it from me. No, this is you.
I got part of it from you.
It was already in you.
No, it wasn't.
See, you're an influencer
See, you
as
instilled
well.
it. He is the influencer. Uh-huh. So what the influencer does, uh-huh. What are you saying, DeVille? Well, I'll tell you what I'm saying. I'm telling you.
Malik, we didn't ask you to add into this. Stay out of it, please.
No, Malik is in this. If you're talking to me, you're talking to Malik. That part. Who gonna check me, boo? Y'all feel free to let me know if you have any more questions. Or if you're enjoying the video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more videos. And without further ado, I'm gonna continue. See, that's how you know I watch too many YouTube videos. I don't even make YouTube videos, y'all. Everybody got that same script. I'm gonna listen to Jennifer Hudson's song when I live here. Dallas, do you know that the whole soundtrack to Dreamgirls?
Oh,
I'm guilty of it too. I be checking people with that song. They be like, who you think you are? And I be like, now watch your mouth, if it works. Cause I don't take that song from no second reliever.
That was the best line.
It really was. Let's just talk about her vocal ability. Like, it's out of this world. But Shantae Moore, oh my God, y'all. Shantae Moore done came back and showed out on the Soul Train Awards. If y'all watch it,
she definitely did.
man, Whistle Notes is on point.
You were paying homage to so many people today.
I am, because these are people that have been inspirations to me. But you know who I used to be a #1 fan for? You already know. Yo, I love some Fantasia. Man, I remember, I don't know if y'all ever did it when y'all were like little kids, when you go and just like look up your name on the internet. And I found this tweet. I don't even remember doing it. I'm like, hey, Fantasia, I'm just praying for you. I just want to let you know, like, I'm here if you need to talk. And mind you, I'm probably like 8 years old. Man, and then my brother and sister, Nicole and Justin, used to sit there and record me, because I used to be in a room trying to do that little church, like Fantasia do. And they would sit there and record me. And then I come outside and they don't even know I'm coming out, and they sitting there, they just bust out laughing. I'm like, wow, y'all can at least support me.
But did Fantasia ever get that?
No. But Fantasia, if you're watching, I love you, girl. I love you. I love.
So
Sorry,
now you're matching up the both sides.
Yep, pretty much. And like I said, like I detailed this side, I'm gonna go ahead and detail this side just to go in and make sure that everything is cohesive. So I'm just going through and taking out my guidelines first. So remember, you got them cowlicks, so you're gonna have to go in at an angle.
So I noticed that you're going very slow and being very precise at
Mm-hmm.
what you're grabbing. Would you say that that would be the best choice when you're doing your fades and your designs?
Yes, definitely, because my fear is just overcutting, and I don't want to do that, because then your client gonna be looking at you crazy. Then y'all probably gonna fight. But I feel like when it comes to anything, slower gets a lot more work done, and it gets it done in more of an efficient and precise way. I don't like to rush, because if you're doing a rushing job, then it's gonna look like that, unless you have pretty much mastered your skill to where you can just go in there and finesse it. Because I've seen people actually go in and do a whole fade without using one guard at all, just nothing but straight blade. But yeah, for me now, I feel most comfortable doing it this way.
I've seen people like John Mosley, educator for Paul Mitchell, um, cuts hair very, very well. Again, he also takes his time when he's cutting
Mm-hmm.
to be very precise and to give your customer, your client, your guest, the best service you can possibly give.
Right. And that's how you're gonna keep your client coming back. They're gonna remember you for one thing. It's for you taking your time. You will appreciate a barber who takes your time over one who just goes through and cut. Because I saw myself trying to go to one the other day. Mind you, I haven't let no barber touch my hair in years. And I feel like as cosmetologists, you kind of just pay attention to certain things that other consumers wouldn't really pay attention to. And I was like, absolutely not. I don't play like I was on the phone. Y'all, I'm like, hold on, let me take this outside. Got in my car and drove off. Because you ain't finna mess me up. Now I'm just going through and just kind of detailing a little bit in this area, playing with my lever to open and close my blade when needed. Just making everything look a bit more seamless. I'm actually going to go in against the grain a little bit using my corners. And as you can see, that guide is slowly but surely working its way out. Now I feel like there's still a little bit of excess here that I don't want, because I want this to look as smooth as possible. And if you notice, the hair is kind of laying a bit more flat. Kind of don't really see a lot of frizziness in that fade. I'm going to take my guard off and continue to go into detail, opening and closing the blade as needed. And again, we're using our hovering method. taking out any unneeded hair. When we're detailing, guys, always, always, always use the corners of your clippers.
And why would you do that?
Because it lets you, well, it allows you to focus more on one particular area. Because you're going in on a flat blade, you're pretty much kind of attacking areas that might not even need to be touched.
Allowing you to be more precise.
Pretty much, pretty much. Stand back. Go back in, take any areas out that we don't need. Guys, I'm going to continue to do this all the way around. And then again, I'm going to go in with my Andes Master just to get a little bit more close up cut before I use my trimmers to detail it. Just continue to detail, you guys. Take out any imperfections that are there that you don't need. Again, you want this hair to look as crispy as possible. And this is just me still taking out my bald line. I haven't gone in with my 0.5 guard yet. I'm just gonna go on my trimmers. So detail, take out any hairs that I don't need. And again, these are 0 gap, which is why I'm using it on that bald line, because that can sometimes be the hardest line to take out. And again, we are using our corners. All right, so now we're gonna go in and take out that second guideline that we created. And I'm gonna do that with my 0.5 guard. Just closing that blade. I'm going in and just taking it out. Y'all be surprised how much I actually learned just cutting hair. I had never touched anybody's head until within like the last, I want to say about 5, 6 months. Cause it was this one guy that seen my work. He was like, "Do you cut your own hair?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you cut my hair?" I'm like, "No, I don't do it on other people." He's like, "Oh, you missing out on money." Instantly, I was like, "Oh man, he right." But had I not really got into it like I wanted to, I would have never really found that this was actually a niche of mine. If you were to ask me anything that I would choose over the other, it's always gonna be cutting. I love cutting.
But you definitely, especially watching you cut your own hair over the years, you learn like many different techniques and
Yes.
stuff, unlocking different techniques.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah, that you was able to carry on to your clients, which is
Hmm.
a good thing.
Right. And designs was actually something that I just started doing. Mind you, I'm just
That you had
on
started.
YouTube again watching 360 Jeezy
Mm-hmm.
and there's a couple of other people I can't really name right now, but um, I've kind of took little bits and nuggets from one video and taking some from the other and kind of using those different techniques and putting them together to see what would kind of give me the best outcome. And then the fact that I already know how to draw kind of just made it a little bit more easier for me. Some people,
Even watching
it's going to take a little minute.
watching you having a mirror and kind of like, you know, doing the back and trying to get the design together, I'm like, that's actually better.
Right.
Because then it actually shows that you take pride in what you're doing.
And that's the number one thing. You do not want to have a client and act like you don't want to do their hair. I saw this one video, y'all. This lady was sitting down, and she was a client, and her stylist was on the phone. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hurry up and get this lady out of my chair." What? Lost the client right there. If it had been me, I would have never came back. You guys, I'm just going through and kind of just detailing, taking out any bulk that's not needed again. I'm actually using it with my half guard. So I'm just making his hair lay down a little bit more flatter. So I'm just going to continue taking out any imperfections. I see some over here that I want to take out. I'm going to take off my guard, get a little bit closer, and go with the grain. That transition smooth. Ooh. Oh, and another good thing, you guys, like, I feel like it's very important to always have at least one hand on the head at all times sometimes, because when you're cutting, you want to make sure your client's head is as stable as possible when you're cutting, because when it comes to cutting short hair in general, whether it goes to pixie cuts or barbering, any slight cut that'll throw it off will show, and it will show very well. So you always want to hold your client's head. There's some people who you don't even have to hold because they already stiff. I'm going to go and keep detailing, you guys. And at this point, that's pretty much all I'm doing before I go in and do his lineup. Checking out any imperfections again. Making sure you're going with the grain when needed. And follow those cowlicks. Not go against them. I'm just gonna get this excess hair off real quick. Just gonna grab my trimmers again, just to detail a little bit more. Just continue all around the head. I don't think I need those for the moment. I'm gonna get any excess hair that I might have missed. Any hair down here, especially for people who have really low hairlines. Pretty much just going up and cleaning everything. Anything that I don't need. So, that being said, you guys, this is where I'm going to come in and use my foils. And this is pretty much just going to take that hair down very, very low. And this is why we call it a ball fade. You don't want to go all the way up into where your guide is, because you're pretty much almost indenting another guideline. So I like to do it just below. And even with these, you can kind of go in and detail as well. And you can continue to do that all around the head. All right. So now, we're going to tackle this hairline out. So we're going to brush everything forward. And sometimes I like to go in, like I'm going to do now, kind of open my blade up a little bit, maybe halfway, just to take a little bit of the bulkiness out of his hairline, so that when we line it up, it can be really precise. Okay, so what I'm going to do, spray a little firm hold spritz. And it's just on this front area here, you guys. Just enough. Continue brushing that forward. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this new baby that I got here, you guys. So I recently just purchased one of these, and you guys, when I tell you, Dyson who? This thing right here, very powerful, and it's very compact, which is why I really like it, especially on the go doing mobile services. This is like one of the best blow dryers that I've ever gotten. It's actually on sale for $99.
That's right.
$99. It's gonna run you a couple hundred if you wait, so you better get it now.
Boom.
So we're gonna use this and direct it forward while brushing. So this kind of lays down over here. So when I go in and line it up, all of this gonna be crispy. Crispy. And I'm talking about Kit Kat crispy.
What's Kit Kat crispy?
Kit Kat crispy. Like anybody knows, if you watch the Kit Kat commercial, all you hear is a crunch.
Crispy.
Crunch.
Got it.
Wow. I got him looking like a Maybelline commercial. Maybe it's Maybelline.
It's so mean.
So now we're getting ready to line them up, you guys. So what you want to do is create your guide from the center of his hairline.
Say that again.
You want to create his guide or your guide from the center of his hairline, starting from this point. And then you want to work your way out halfway this way and then come back to the center and work your way back out the opposite way.
And you're doing that because?
This is just going to give me more leverage on kind of just like focusing on where I need to keep his hairline at, because had I just start from over here, especially being that body position is everything, you're probably gonna go sliding up and pushing his hairline back. You don't want to do that.
So you're using it to keep balance so that both sides will be even
Correct.
and consistency.
Correct. And I like to take little by little. I'm gonna do it just up until the point to where it just looks cohesive and precise, like he's a well-groomed man. It's Black Kane right there.
Somebody say, hey, it's your boy Jamor.
Jamur.
Jumor. You know that?
I'm sorry. I hope I don't sound crazy, but I don't know that man.
It's Fat Boy. Fat Boy 954. Somebody from Florida. Who knows?
Oh, Jumur. Okay, that's my brother, y'all.
Oh wow! You
Just
know
go.
your own brother. Wow.
Hey, no, I forgot he named himself Jumur, like humor. His name is Justin, so he had to put it together.
Okay, gotcha. You had to put it
Wow.
together. Gotcha. He said he loved that free promo you just did for Private Label on the dryer.
Yes. Justin, you gonna love this blow dryer. You are going to love it. But y'all see how crisp that thing? Woo! That's my little thing, y'all. I gotta pretend I'm throwing the dice when I'm feeling good. So turn your head this way. We're gonna take out these sidebars. And it helps to kind of comb this forward a bit.
She is looking crispy.
Yes. You gotta be like, oh my God, is that Denzel Washington?
You cannot let him laugh because you're going to mess up his line.
Absolutely.
When
I'm
this
sorry I'm
one
late.
ages.
Right. He got these baby hairs.
And see, you don't make it no better, Dallas.
Exactly.
You're right.
That about out. That's why I love Dallas, y'all. You be having a peaceful day. Dallas just coming to you. But no, Dallas is actually a very bright light.
When we had his pumpkin spice.
Right.
Y'all was
Boy.
that I just tore up that whole kitchen.
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice. Y'all was
And I tell you, Dallas don't went in on that kitchen, y'all. Get that Medea when she was in that office. When she was looking for Rosa Parks. Where is Rosa?
I love my pumpkin spice for my coffee.
Right. Now I know. Everyone that make Dallas happy, just give him that pumpkin spice creamer. Put it in his coffee.
It calms me.
And makes him one with himself.
Your brother says he needs his hair cut next.
I got you, because you've been walking around looking like
Don't do that.
me on a bad day. I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just joking. Just joking. Maybe a little bit. But just joking. Yeah. As you can see again here, I'm just going in, detailing something that I just caught that I don't like. Because that's that thing I don't like. Yeah, Dallas put me onto that song. I didn't even know about Kaya until I met Dallas.
You know about who?
Kaya.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
You know what I meant by heart attack?
Wow. I'm telling all my business.
I'm weak in the knees and I can't even speak, y'all. But I am speaking at the same time. Wow, wow, wow. So I feel like we got that in for the most part with our trimmers. So what I like to do next, as you can see here on the outskirts of his hairline, there are little areas here that are less dense than the center area. So I like to go in and use an enhancement. And this is basically gonna fill in his hair to give it the illusion that it's a lot more dense than what it actually is. So
you're not creating a line because you've already created a line. What
just
you're
follow
doing
my guy.
Right, you're just basically going in and giving more hair fibers in the area where the hair is not as dense.
Correct.
Got it. Because there's a difference when people create their own hairline in there as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah, you just want to go in and fill in just where it's needed. Sometimes I like to go all the way across, which is what I'm probably going to do with this case. So I'm going to start from the center. And I like to do things little by little. And as you can see, it's a little bit more full on that side now.
So the difference is you're creating this to give a fuller effect.
Correct.
So that the hairline is a little bit more crispier.
Gotcha.
Even though you've already done it.
Yep.
So that when this does wash off, his hairline still will be great.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. And you do not just want to push people's hairlines back, you guys, because
I'm really just making sure we pull that out because a lot of people do use it to create the hairline. And then when it washes off, then yeah, you're like, whoa.
Exactly. And this product actually stays. A lot of barbers actually use semi-permanent dyes, and they will mix it equal parts with alcohol. And everybody knows how color can pretty much stain the skin. So that's why they use that. But this is actually a new product that's not necessarily a dye, but just a pigment that actually stays a lot longer. So even if he was to go home and do this in the mirror, it's gonna be there. It's not going nowhere. Cool beans. So, wow, I really got that from you, Dallas.
I know. That's what I thought.
Whoa.
This is me talking.
Wow, literally. So, what I'm going to do from this point is kind of recline him back a little bit. Wow, you felt the Holy Ghost, didn't you? Shut up, I say. So, I'm actually going to go in with my blade, and this is going to give me more of that precise cut. And it's actually going to make it look a lot more crispier. And you see a lot of people use the little barber's pencil to kind of outline their hairline. But the fact that I use hairspray kind of helps creates that, what am I trying to say? The ash line. So I'm going to turn it this way so you can see what I'm doing here. This is actually going to help his hairline that we've created last a lot more longer. And remember, guys, tug that skin.
You're tucking the skin to keep from cutting your customer, correct?
Correct. Correct. So that thing is in there, you guys. So I'm gonna bring him back up. Look at you, you just rose out the dead, y'all. Hallelujah. Wow. So what I'm gonna do now, because Malik doesn't like none of this on the side of his face. So we're gonna go ahead and cut these off here. Go in and tackle that thing out. I swear, y'all, as soon as you walk out of here, he's gonna feel like you're in that Dr. Pepper commercial.
Wow.
That's me, Dr. Pepper.
Out of all things.
Exactly. Lift your chin a little bit. And we do that because we want to get this hair that is sitting under here. Malik don't like all that excess hair. Make them bald. And again, we're going in with our trimmers again. A wig goes straight in with the foils, but the foils are not going to be able to take out hair that's past a certain length. So again, we're going to take out this
Say that
side.
one more time. It won't be able to what?
It won't take out hair that's past a certain length. So the way his hair is sitting right now, if I were to try to go in with my foils, it's not going to be able to take that out. So they have these little holes in it made to pretty much kind of like cuff little hairs that just are like sticking out of the skin, not really directed anywhere, and it just takes it right out.
I do use one on my bald head.
Wow.
And of course, I don't like hair at all. So I try to do it twice a day. And it works well with me because I don't allow the hair to grow any longer than that.
Yep.
So this is why it's perfect. But anytime it's longer, yeah, I would have to do something different. Either a straight razor.
Right. Well, I swear every time I think of that straight razor on a bald head, I think of the movie Color Purple. Oh my God.
You about to at home about to shave this.
Right. Mr. Man. Oh my God. It was that one part when he had to throw a rock at her. Yeah. Like you and me will never part.
This is why y'all don't watch TV.
While you you're doing that, Malik has a big red lit spot that's on the back of his head from your outfit. Yeah, it's on the back.
A red spot?
Yes, turn around.
Oh, wow. Where is it? Oh, wow. You saw nothing. You tell anybody. That's why you got me doing that.
I don't know.
Oh, my God. It's all Dallas' fault, y'all. I thought you was about to smile. I'd be like, what you laughing at? Because I don't see anything funny. And this is a good tool to use, guys, because sometimes using your hand, it's not going to get that hair off like you need it to just dust off. So make sure you keep one of those on hand. Just going to use this comb. Comb this little mustache out a little bit. I'm going to ask him to roll your lips in. And this is just so you can get a really good cut. And again, these blades are 0 gap. So I always want to make sure that skin is taut. Sometimes a good trick here as well is to kind of use your hand to lift this nostril a little bit, just to take off any hair that might be really up in there. She got some hair, boy. Oh, he looking at me like he want to fight. Check it out. Wow. Wow. Who is that? I don't know. Steve Urkel?
It's Stephon.
Wow. He's not playing you guys. So, I'm just pretty much going to clean them up now. I'm going to go back in with my foils. Take out any excess hair that I don't need. Lift your chin up for me. There's a little hair that I need to get out. Wow, you look like J-Lo. So what I'm doing now, guys, I'm kind of taking a step back just to evaluate if I need to go in and alter anything. And I feel like I can here a little bit with this hairline.
I'm still Jim from the block.
Wow.
Oh my God. And I like to do this anyway. It kind of helps get rid of that little ash buildup on the hairline. Then step back, checking it out. Go back in, detail where I need it to be. I'm just going in, taking out that ash line again. So nice. So now we're just gonna do our little finishing touches. And you guys, I like to go in with this scalp oil from Private Label. And this is one of my favorites, all-time favorites that my clients love to use or love for me to use on them. It's very good for the scalp. Not only that, it actually promotes hair growth as well.
You can find this on the website as well.
You can. You sure can. Little goes a long way, and I like to kind of apply this in the direction where the hair is growing. Feel free to jack that down onto the scalp just to make that look more moisturized. And again, you guys, sometimes you can still see areas that you feel like you might need to go in and just perfect a little bit. Thank you, thank you. God, that was an angel that just handed that to me. Holy Ghost. So again, I'm just gonna go in with my trimmers, look at this line a little bit. And it's starting to blend out a lot better for me.
I'm enjoying the transformation of the leaf. Like, from looking from one way to looking this way now. And
You turn to a whole nother man.
yeah, whole nother man. You say
Wow.
you look like J-Lo, but
Beyonce.
okay.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Yes, you guys.
That's a big tap for a rise.
Yes.
That's a big tap for a rise.
You guys, do y'all see that shine? That shine. Boy,
It's that new life.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's that war, baby.
Walk in the restaurant like, excuse me, where's the manager? I'll wait. On point. So, what I'm gonna do now is pretty much wrap my finger in a little Sandex strip. Take a little alcoholica. A little alcoholica. It is a word. I feel like personally Dallas needs to work on his vocabulary because
Wow.
alcoholica is a word.
It's a word.
Wow. I feel so disrespected. All right, guys, so we're just going to take this across the areas that we pretty much shaved. Hairline. You see that hairline move. Hairline all across the head. Continuing all across the head.
Very crisp.
Wow, you guys. Who is that? I'm sorry, you guys. I tear up every time I see a transformation because sometimes you can't see the good in people until you see them with a haircut. Now check that. Yes. So this is the final look, you guys. Took another 360. Another 360 again. Yeah. So if you like this video, yeah, let's stop there. Yes. Who is that? That's me on a good day. But yes, you guys, I hope you learned a lot during this video, and I hope to do more with you guys again. Without further ado, again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more videos with Private Label.